In today's video, we will be going on a trip to a place that, until this past weekend, neither of us had seen. This is the edge of the cell phone tower, which has a perpetual lease with Crown Castle, and they don't own the land, we own the land, but they get to use it forever and don't pay us any money. But that's not what this video is about. Because this section is outside the fence, I realized that that meant that property outside the fence is ours as well. And so we decided to see what is just north of the cell phone tower site. And on the map, it looks like a bunch of trees. But let's take a closer look. These cell phone tower folks have a natural gas connection to run their generators. They have irrigation to run sprinklers, and they have a whole bunch of other cool equipment and their own power meter. Look at this. We cleaned it up a bit, but it had been cleaned up in the past and the brush just left here in a big pile. But there's a gate. And it looks like people haven't really taken good care of the fence here. I can work on that. But let's go through the gate. Well, that's the north pasture right out there. There's the other side of the cell phone tower, and you can see the barn. But there's this magical little secret garden. I've started to cut down some of the broom yesterday and the brambles, but I've got a lot more to go. You can see the small fence, which I think does represent the property line here. And if you look up, those are some pretty big trees. So the trees are just on the other side, which is the other property. I think that's the county stuff, the food bank and stuff on it. These are broom that I'm gonna have to continue to cut down, which is fine. There's a big gap in the trees. And this big gap in the trees must have died a while ago. The trees came down and invaded brambles. Look at all the brambles. And they come out in a sort of fan shape from the gap in the trees. But there's little paths beaten down by deer and now me. As I walk through, you can see where that's the ham radio tower on the food bank property side. It's not the food bank, but whatever. And bramble just kind of invaded, came in all the way to that fence from over there. So there's a lot of broom and a lot of bramble. More broom and bramble. A whole lot, a couple hundred square feet. We're coming up on where I started doing some work yesterday because we discovered Christmas trees. There are Christmas trees on our property. So we are going to be able to have our own Christmas tree every year for quite some time. Here's a big pile of bramble. Here's a big pile of broom. And here's a really big pile of stuff that I'd cut down off of these huge trees, which grew through the fence. I am not a forester. I'm gonna have to get a grown-up to come in and clean up. But that big pile came from just right here. You can see the fence is broken down because the heavy limbs grew and then fell right down on top of this fence. And nobody's done anything with it for a very long time. And so my goal is to clean this up so that we can grow the Christmas trees and have them come up looking nice. I don't think it's gonna hurt the big trees too much, but we'll see. Hopefully not. So this comes all the way down. This is again more broom that I've been cutting down. All the way down to the llama property. Okay, the animals are on the far side today. And here's what I thought was the corner, but this side's actually ours. Isn't that exciting? I know I'm excited. I'm very excited. So Today's goal is to continue trimming back the big tree, making room for the little trees, and coming all the way back. And then, hey, we'll be able to have our own Christmas tree. Thanks for visiting. Goodbye.